If you want Seeds of Hatred in Diablo 4, then you're gonna have to PvP, so let me give you a quick couple of tips. Number 1, don't jump somebody while he's doing the boss because you might just die really fast. Tip number 2, if you plan on ganking somebody while he's trying to purify his seeds, then you better expect that he's ready for you and he's gonna be pretty thankful you've brought him more seeds to purify. Tips number 3 and 4, if you plan on ganking somebody, don't forget to flag, and if on the other hand, you have flagged and others haven't, then expect more opponents than you bargained for. Tip number 5, if you're going to be casually strolling around on your horse while flagged, expect to have very little time to react when somebody jumps you. Tip number 6, if you're going to be purifying your seeds, always assume there is a stronger opponent lurking just around the corner because he's definitely going to want your juicy seeds for himself. Tip number 7, if you've died to an opponent a minute ago and you decide to come back flagged for PvP, then assume you will once again have to engage with this opponent as he's still going to want your Seeds of Hatred for himself. Tip number 8, if you've recently died twice to an opponent and you decide to try and gank him while he's purifying your Seeds of Hatred, then assume you're going to die again, and this time you may just have to give him your ear. Tip number 9, if you attack an enemy from behind, it does not guarantee you are going to win the fight, especially if he's 20 levels above you. Always choose your opponents carefully, or else you're just going to feed them your Seeds of Hatred. Speaking of worthy opponents, here's an example of a fight where we were more evenly matched. This Fire Sorceress gave me a pretty hard time with her firewalls. I couldn't just sit there and DPS her to get the kill. Instead, I decided to retreat to heal and not die, but eventually gain the advantage. So here's tip number 10 for you. Always be mindful of your environment because this is a PvE/VP zone and the enemy Wrath might just get the kill, and so you will still lose your Seeds of Hatred. And finally, all kidding aside, here's one bonus tip for you guys. As you start to face stronger opponents and possibly dedicated PvP builds, you will most likely have to retreat at some point. There is no shame in that. I'm the first one to say it. In this example, we take on a Whirlwind Bleed Barbarian, I believe. He gave me a pretty hard time. I tried to defeat him with some enemies on top of him. That didn't work. Then we tried to 1v1 a little bit. Also didn't work, so I decided to simply run away. Hopefully you guys have learned a thing or two. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Catch you guys later.